It was close to midnight when I pulled into the grocery store lot. The place was nearly deserted, the yellow lights overhead buzzing faintly, stretching long shadows across the pavement. I only meant to grab milk and bread, nothing more, but fate had something else in mind. As I walked toward the entrance, a fragile, trembling voice stopped me. "Please, I'm so hungry." I froze. Just outside the door stood a thin girl, hair knotted, dress ripped, shoes barely clinging to her feet. She couldn't have been older than 12. Her hands pressed against her stomach, shaking, her eyes darting around as if expecting someone to push her away. Shoppers streamed past without a second glance. One man muttered, "Another beggar kid," before brushing by. The cashier shifted at the register, pretending not to see her. But I couldn't ignore her. Her words had cut deeper than anything I'd heard all week. I stepped closer, careful not to scare her. "Hey," I said gently, "are you okay?" Her hollow eyes lifted to mine. "No, I haven't eaten in 2 days." Her voice cracked, and it nearly broke me. "Where are your parents?" I asked softly. She looked down. "Gone." That single word carried more pain than I could comprehend. A lump formed in my throat. Without thinking, I reached for her hand. It was ice cold. "Come on," I whispered. "Let's get you something to eat." She hesitated at the doorway, glancing nervously at the employees. "It's okay," I reassured her. "Pick whatever you want. Tonight, you're not going hungry." At first, she only reached for one bread roll, her hand trembling. But as I filled the basket with fruit, sandwiches, juice, and cookies, her eyes filled with tears. "No one's ever done this for me," she whispered. At checkout, she clutched the bag of food like it was treasure. Outside, we sat under a flickering streetlight on a worn bench. She tore into the bread so fast she almost choked. "Slow down," I said softly, handing her some water. For a moment, she just stared at me, as if afraid I might take it away. Between bites, she shared pieces of her story. Her mother had vanished first. One night she left and never came back. Her father tried to cope, but slipped into drinking and eventually disappeared too, leaving her behind in their small apartment. When the rent stopped, the landlord kicked her out. Since then, she had been sleeping under a bridge, on scraps of cardboard, scavenging for food. She knocked on doors, begged strangers, but most people just told her to go home. She had no home. Listening, my chest tightened with anger and grief. How many people had seen her suffering and simply walked away? Finally, I asked, "Do you trust me?" She hesitated, then nodded faintly. I pulled out my phone and made 2 calls, one to child services, the other to a shelter I trusted. Panic spread across her face. "Are they going to take me away?" I crouched down, meeting her frightened eyes. "They're going to make sure you never go hungry again." Her lip trembled. "Promise." "I promise," I said firmly. Within the hour, a social worker arrived. She clung to my arm, terrified. I whispered to her, "It's okay. This is the first step to a better life." Slowly, she let go and slid into the back seat of the car. Before they drove off, she pressed her hand to window. Her eyes found mine, and for the first time that night, she smiled. Faint but real. I waved back, my chest heavy yet hopeful. Later at home, I set my groceries down untouched. Her voice echoed in my mind. "Please, I'm so hungry." That night, I understood how invisible suffering can be. How many children were out there, hungry, begging unseen? But she had been seen. And maybe, just maybe, that small moment had changed her story forever.